Does praying really work? We sure hope so. I have a phrase that I've heard long ago, no one knows who came up with it, that it seems to me to capture this question. The old phrase is, when I pray, coincidences happen. And when I don't, they don't. I like that. It doesn't say too much, it doesn't claim everything, but it does put a finger on the fact that, something happens when I pray. So what does happen when you pray? Well, I know you and I are looking for the immediate and the dramatic, the answer right now. And we're probably looking for the answer as you and I picture it. But let's just open up our thoughts a little bit to saying, what happens when we pray? Well, maybe the first thing that happens is we're conscious of the fact that we need to pray. Isn't that one of the work that God would probably have in mind when we pray? To stop us from being self-sufficient, to turn us to saying, I can't do it all. Lord, help me. We're a bit like the tax collector who comes in Luke 18, who's conscious only of his failing. He comes as far as into the very door of the temple, beats his breast and says, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. That's prayer at work, to empty us of our own self-sufficiency. The next thing that prayer does, and it does it right at the beginning, after it's turned me empty inside, is to turn me to someone, God, who's made promises to hear me. Prayer works by reminding me that God is at work. God is eager to listen. Prayer works when He simply reminds me to ask and it shall be given, seek and you'll find, knock and the door will be opened. Prayer works when I see God as a Father who's kind, who gives bread to His sons and daughters, not stones or serpents. Prayer works when I'm reminded that though I'm empty, He's full. Now that connection is the key. I think prayer also works when it works on His favorite virtue. You know the fruits of the Spirit perhaps, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Wonderful lineup. Seems to me that prayer is always at work on, well, the middle one, patience. I'm nothing against love, joy, peace. We'd all like to have them and probably more of them. But it always seems that He's working on this one, patience. Does prayer work? Well, are you still praying? Well, then He's at work. And the one thing He sure is building is patience. I know it's not the eager thing that we seek every day. It's not probably the favorite on our list of things we want, but somehow it seems to be high on His list. Prayer is working that way. And finally, patience, I think, broadens our eyesight, opens our eyes to the possibilities. I know that you and I pray, and we often have the solution out in our minds. We tell God, this is what I want you to do, and we impatient. But maybe prayer works when we stop thinking we have the only answer. We stop asking for it in only one place, and we stop pointing to the watch and saying, it's high time. Maybe prayer works when God says, you just wait and look around, and you might be surprised at the answer I've got in mind and where it's going to be found and when it's going to show up. You just wait and you watch. I think that old phrase is right. When I pray, coincidences happen. When I don't, they don't. When I pray, the coincidences of me running out of myself, finding God who never runs out of patience to hear me, and who's eager to build that patience and maybe a broader sight of what He's doing in me, all those things happen. I think prayer works.